We're here at Salford Royal Hospital, where a number of changes are taking place and a new multi-faith chaplaincy is being opened, where a number of faiths share the same space.
My name's Ian Carter. I'm the lead chaplain here at Salford Royal, and I'm also a Church of England chaplain working on the ward seeing patients.
And could you tell us about the idea behind having a multi-faith chaplaincy?
Patients for the hospital come from all sorts of backgrounds, and it's very important that the particular needs that all of them have are met.
How do you think that having the multi-faith chaplaincy will help to meet the spiritual and religious needs of people?
Well, for instance, we've recently opened a Shabbos room, and it means that the needs of Jewish patients can be met much better than they could before, and it's been very well used. So it's a particular thing that we've been able to do here that we couldn't do before.
This is a Jewish Shabbos room for the chaplaincy service here in the hospital, and this room has been provided for the use of Jewish relatives and visitors and patients so that they can actually celebrate Passover here in the hospital with the minimum of fuss and with the best facilities that we can actually provide, and it is very well used indeed.
Yeah, I think what they've got there is a Sabbath room, as you've seen. It's a brilliant facility for observant Orthodox Jews, mainly for the reason that if your wife, for example, goes into labour, or you end up going to, let's say, A&E in an emergency situation on a Friday night or sometime during the Sabbath, Jewish law would allow a relative, if it's going to help the patient in their, to get better, or that they make them feel more comfortable, you can go in the cab or go in the ambulance with them. But what happens once you're at the hospital? Perhaps there'll be hours of waiting, or your wife's not in labour, or she's given birth and you can't be on a ward. What are friends, family and relatives meant to do? Because in Jewish law they can't take a cab back home, so they could be stuck in the middle of nowhere with nowhere to go, with no food. They can't use, for example, according to Jewish law, the kind of the Coke machine or the snack machine, because they won't have any money. They won't be able to bring any money, which they can't use on the Sabbath. So they're just kind of stuck in the Sabbath room. They've got food there that's waiting for them. They've got a place that they can go to if they're not permitted on a ward, instead of kind of just like walking around aimlessly around the hospital at 3 o'clock in the morning. And it's absolutely super for Jewish people, really hospitable. And I think I know lots and lots and lots of people who have needed, in the Jewish community, who've needed to use the Sabbath room, and they are so appreciative of the facility and the fact that the hospital is willing to be kind of so hospitable to people in different faiths.
What are the type of facilities that you've got?
This facility is where the Jewish patients can come and have their Passover and their Sabbath celebrations if they have to be here in the hospital. This is where the kosher food is stored for them and is replaced very regularly, so that it's all fresh for them, and they are very appreciative of this indeed.
Is it right that there's a special fridge or something?
Well, it's not a special fridge as such, but the refrigerator has to have the bulb removed, because even a passive activation of a light going on and off contravenes the Jewish Sabbath regulations. They're not allowed to switch lamps or lights on and off, and therefore the lights within this department have to be kept on over the weekend, and the bulb within the fridge has been removed so that this does not become a difficulty for them.
Do you think that the model of having this multi-faith area chaplaincy can be used elsewhere other than in hospitals?
Yes, it's something that's particularly become common in hospitals, but also in schools or other institutions. It's very important that the needs of everybody are looked at, and not just either Christians or Muslims, because they're often the most vocal people that try to get their needs fulfilled.